It's raining.
We can enhance the voices, I think,
Can we?
as long as it doesn't go crazy.
If it doesn't go, well, hey man, this is life. You know what? I really don't give a shit.
You're already swearing.
I mean,
it's like 1 second into the podcast and you're swearing.
I mean, we edit stuff a little bit so you can understand it's good, but I just really don't care.
Okay.
I mean, this is real life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Did I say it was podcast 24?
I don't think so, but I just told you it was.
Podcast 24. Mm-hmm. What is this?
Okay, so that is a Zen green tea that has a little bit of mint in it. Oh. And then there's also honey, and there's fresh squeezed lemon.
All right.
Everybody seems like they're getting sick around, so we are preemptively adding as much liquid as we possibly can. It's not meant to taste good.
Yep. It sounds about and tastes like what you just said. I said sounds like. You know, whatever you just said is in it, and if you put all those together, yeah, that's what it tastes like.
Okay, so the ginger one that I made is going to taste more aggressive than that.
It's not bad. I drink weird shit. I don't care.
You and your sea monkeys bottle.
Yeah. Is that for the end?
I think so.
Okay. You ready?
Yeah. I mean, what?
I saw this video of Dan Campbell.
Uh-huh.
He is the
head coach of the Lions.
Head coach of the Detroit Lions.
Uh-huh.
I followed Dan Campbell for a long time. He was a former Cowboys player. He's been in the league a long time. Now he's a coach. And I follow him now because he's just
he's intense, man.
He's intense. Yeah. And he is a player's coach.
And he's committed.
Committed, and you can tell they all buy in to what this guy is doing. And that's a tough thing to make happen. I mean, that's leadership.
They have to, well, they know he cares.
Yep.
They're not buying in if they don't think he cares.
Yep. And forgive me, I had to write it down because I can't remember all this. So I'm going to read what he said, paraphrase in the end a little bit. The video starts off, and he says, "You just got to get a hold of them, drag their ass out to the deep, dark abyss so you can drown them." Okay? Shelve that for a second.
Yeah.
We will go a little bit longer, push harder, think a little deeper, and a little sharper. We will play you anywhere, on grass, on turf, landfill. It doesn't matter. If you have one ass cheek or 3 toes, we will beat your ass. I got some thoughts about maybe what he's saying there. We will tread water as long as it takes to bury you. We will kick you in the teeth. When you punch back, we will smile at you. When you knock us down, we will get up and bite off your kneecaps. Then he goes on to say that all he thinks about is the team. He has a plan. Just trust me and stick with him. And then he talks about we got to lose that loser mentality. We got to get on your mind. And he has a pair of pants and he's shaking it.
Get the dirt out.
Get the dirt out. Get that loser mentality out. It is a powerful video if you listen to it. And it really resonated with me. So we thought we would peel this back of how it relates to life.
I think when people initially hear it or see that video, they're going to probably focus on the wrong thing.
The wrong words.
And they're going to look at it and they're going to see something about he wants to
drown you.
People in the teeth, drown you. And that's not what this is about at all.
Nope.
The thing that sticks out, what sticks out most to you in that?
That we will go a little bit longer, we will push harder, think deeper, and a little bit sharper. But then I'll skip down because I think that goes to we will tread water as long as it takes to bury you. You know what I mean? It's like outwit, outlast, outplay. Because I think when you take that stuff, it's like life. Like you get kicked in the teeth. I think that's why these words are being used. It's going to knock you down. So either you can stay down or you can get up and continue to grind longer. Listen, the NFL is a tough sport.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of these people that play this for a long time have problems now.
Forever.
Yeah, they talk about all the money they make and all that stuff. I mean, I get it. It's crazy, but people don't understand the head traumas and the mental and the things that they go through. And I'm not trying to say, oh, woe is me. They chose to do that.
They did.
But I'm saying that's a tough sport. But isn't life a tough sport? Or maybe not sport. Life is just tough in general, right? And we let all of these things. And I think when he says stuff like knock you down, bite you in the kneecap, all those things, I think he's referencing like when you have the weight of the world on top of you, you got a decision. You can be the weaker opponent. You can not get up in the morning and go work out. You can grab a bag of chips when you should be grabbing an apple. You had a tough day at work, and you're just letting the boss beat you down and you're not trying to get better at your craft or what you're supposed to do. I mean, this just symbolized so much stuff for me that happens every day in life. You know what I mean? So I'm sure tons of people can relate to that with their health and wellness.
Yes, very much.
Yep. So the top portion. You got to get a hold of them and drag their ass to the deep, dark abyss, and you can drown them. Okay. I ain't trying to drown nobody.
No, but
what does that mean to you?
But when people, and most people, until they're in a place that is so miserable, they're resistant to change. And I hate that. I hate that people have to hit rock bottom before they make a decision.
Mm-hmm. To me, that portion is I've got to, connect with people. I've got to get a hold of them. Mm-hmm. I've got to grab their attention.
Yeah.
And when I do, find out what their struggles are, mm-hmm. and get them uncomfortable.
They have to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's 100% a necessity.
Yeah. And not quick. Well, it can be quickly, but not in a sense where I'm going to bury or drown them. In this reality, being uncomfortable is when I get a lead from somebody and it's like, oh my God, I heard CrossFit. I'm scared. I haven't done it before. Mm-hmm. So their first feeling of being uncomfortable is reaching out. They've done that, or coming through the door. So uncomfortable can be a quick thing. But if we do get a hold of them and we speak to them, mm-hmm. we talk to them about what we're about, mm-hmm. I think some of that pressure, they take a little bit of a deep breath. Okay, I'll come try. You know what I mean?
But think about what happens if somebody goes underwater and they feel like they're drowning.
Mm-hmm.
They don't just stay underwater and let it happen. They fight, right? Because they feel like they finally figure out they can fight. Mm-hmm. And so when the idea of drowning someone doesn't mean that we're going to hold them underwater till they can.
Yeah.
It's that you put them under some water so they learn how to fight.
Yeah.
And that's what we do at the gym.
Yeah, and with him, I know he meant like take the other team and beat them down and us be superior. I get that, but we're not playing football here.
No.
So that's why I wanted to pull that and say why I think there's a bigger scale mm-hmm. in how it relates. You know what I mean? Go.
No, I was just going to say, like, when the part that I think when he talks about treading water and going for as long as it's going to take and not ever giving up. Like, there is no, this didn't work in 3 days. Mm-hmm. We're just going to say, oh, well. No, man, you dig deeper. And you have to go. It's going to take a long time. You don't get in the shape you're in 3 days.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't gain a bunch of weight in 3 days. It took years to get into that shape. It's a longer process than what people expect.
Remind me about treading water when I get there.
Okay.
I have something for you. The second part, we'll go a little bit longer, push harder, think a little deeper, and basically be sharper.
Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta prepare, man.
Yeah.
Like, they can't, if they're gonna go further and think deeper, they're gonna do every possible thing mm-hmm. on the field and off.
Yeah. But the way that connected, where I took that into the fitness side of things, mm-hmm. when we were talking about the first portion and getting uncomfortable, mm-hmm. in order to be able to go longer, push harder, think deeper, and become sharper, you have to be put in those situations multiple
over and over
times.
On purpose.
Yes, to learn. It's no different than someone that comes in and can't really do a good air squat. Mm-hmm. Well, we keep pushing their limits.
Yeah.
And not only do they become more proficient in an air squat, then they start back squatting really well. They're getting sharper. Yeah. They're going deeper. They're going longer. I mean, that's just such a huge component that ties together. You can't be sharp and you can't push and go longer and deeper if you're not coming consistently and doing it over and over and over and over.
I think sometimes people think that when a coach gets onto them a little bit about, hey, I need you to push your knees out, like you're saying an air squat, or any kind of a squat whatsoever. I need you to keep that chest up. And it's a little thing. But they've got to understand that as coaches, we're going to be relentless in our pursuit of excellent movement because it improves people's quality of life outside of the gym. And so you have to be open and willing to take that and use it.
Sharper.
Yeah.
Like, as a coach, if someone's in here doing quarter squat.
No, the quarter squat is the best you can get to. We're going to have you try to get maybe
I understand.
to 3/8.
But that's the thing about going deeper, going longer, pushing harder, sharper. All those words are powerful and they come together. And if that's where you have to start, sure.
Yeah.
But you have to continue to do it
with the progress
to become better, to become sharper. Yep. We would play you anywhere on grass, turf, landfill. It doesn't matter. If you have one ass cheek, 3 toes, we will beat your ass. So I think that's kind of funny, but I think what it really just basically says, I don't care.
No more excuses.
About anything.
No more excuses.
Who you are, what you look like, what your condition is. Nothing else matters. I will do it, and we'll put forth our best ability, and we'll rise to the top. I mean, it's the same with fitness.
And you can't have those, when he talked about, whether it's grass or turf or a landfill, the conditions are never going to be perfect. And if you're always saying, oh, well, I didn't have the perfect breakfast laid out. I didn't have this. Oh, I think I probably should get gas before I go to the gym. I can't get there. There's always something in the way. The conditions are never going to be perfect. You have to prioritize.
Yep.
And you just have to make a decision.
There's no perfect day.
No.
You don't feel good. The weather's not perfect. It's cold. It's hot.
It's raining.
It's raining. I'm going to wait till next week because it's the first of the month. I'm not fit. I'm a beginner. None of that matters.
I'm sad. I'm happy.
Yeah. I'm motivated.
Motivation is, you are motivated, take it and use it. But motivation won't take you any further than that moment. Motivation doesn't last. When people say, well, what happens when I'm not motivated? Well, honey, that's when discipline kicks in and you show up anyway. Right. And I don't know about you, but I have never regretted a single workout that I've ever done. I have gone to the gym mad before. I have gone out on a run and been in a bad mood before, but by the time I am done, I have never been unhappy or regretted it.
Yeah.
Ever.
We will tread water as long as it takes to bury you. We'll kick you in the teeth. We'll punch back. When you punch back, we'll smile at you. When you knock us down, we'll get up and bite a kneecap off. It's really the same type of mentality, but it's a grit.
And it's no quit.
Yeah, basically whatever is thrown at me, it doesn't matter. What we just made a whole list of, I don't care how I feel. I don't care what's going on. I'm going to get up and do it.
Yes.
Tread water. That hit home with me when we were in SEAL training. You had to tread water. Dang, and I forget. Was it 2 minutes or 5 minutes? It might have been 5. Hell, I don't know. I'd have to look it up. It's been over 20 years. One of the most painful things ever, because you're in gear and you have a heavy tank on your back. And literally, you have your feet and you have to hold your hands above the water.
Is with your hands above the water?
And you have to tread. Yeah, and if you go down, you fail. So painful. It was a huge struggle for me. I did it. But it was bad.
Did you pass the first time?
No. Took me second time. I got yanked out of the pool, set on the pool deck, and you have to sit like this. You're all your gear off, you're just freezing, just cold.
I think they call that jackhammering.
Yeah,
correct?
jackhammering, and then it's just racing through your mind. It's like, oh God, you know, I got to do
Now
it
you're
again.
mad.
I can do this. I can do this. And of course, they're yelling at you, and you know, blah blah blah. You don't have to do this. We can go get you a warm cup of coffee right now.
The bell thing, right?
Yeah, you
The
can
bell.
go ring the bell. What are you doing? This doesn't make any sense. Why are you here? I got back in and I did it. And it was the greatest feeling in the world, but it was so
Did you go right back afterwards, or
painful.
was it like the next day or something?
No, it took a little while. You rested and then put back in.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait, I'm wrong. I
Okay.
forget. They cycled a bunch of us, and then
What does that mean? Cycling.
They're cycling through all the people there.
Oh, okay.
So the people that passed is on one side. The other people that didn't were here. Yeah. And then, of course, we had to do it again. I think it was the next pool day. Might have been 1 or 2 days. Hell, I can't remember. It was freaking 2 decades ago. But then you had to think about it a lot. Because then I remember, because then you get dressed back up. You go back. We do our things. You're running to eat chow. You know, you're doing all the rest of the evolutions and stuff. And it's just constantly in your damn mind. You know, it's stressful. And I can't remember if I went back the next day or 2 days or whatever, but then you had to go back to the pool deck, and then I did it. But, yeah, it was freaking painful. But it's just survival mode. You know, no matter what's thrown at you, you got to go through it. And failure creates success if you let it. If you get knocked down, we're going to smile. We're going to get back up. I could easily just said quit and said, I ain't doing this. This is voluntary. I didn't have to do that shit. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But you just keep getting back up. So that's why I think a lot of that resonated with me as well. The last portion, he was just talking about all I think about is a team. I have a plan. You know, we got to get that loser mentality out of our mind, knock the dirt off. And I think it all collapses into that last portion. All these things that we talk about in life are things that hit you. You got to get up. Knock that dirt off, man. No, you got to believe in yourself. And I think that's why we do what we do, affecting one person at a time, 2 people, 3 people, 5 people, 100 plus in the gym. As we continue to grow, the more people we affect. He says it. All I do is think about you. All we do is think about our Fortress family and people that come to our gym, people that do our workouts outside of our gym, people that connect to us. Yeah. People outside of here that compete, the people we know in the CrossFit world, wherever, like family that we're trying to get on board. I mean, that's all we think about. You know what I mean? And we don't have a loser mentality. We do have a no excuses, and we can be tough at times just because we believe in those people.
You're just a lot stronger than what you think you are.
Yeah.
Like when people are walking in the kitchen and they're hungry, and I've been in this position, I'm sure you have too. And you have a choice. You can grab those chips, and pull them out and grab a soda, and because you're hungry and you're like, I can't help it. I'm hungry. Yes, you can help it. I can't do that. But what happens if I have a craving? You tell the craving to go jump off a cliff. Like, you're stronger than that. Mm-hmm. If you're a slave to your cravings, this is a problem. This is like a huge, huge problem. If you are a slave to your cravings, you should go right now in your cabinet and you should take every piece of junk food and put it in the trash can if you can't handle it. Period. And never buy it and bring it in your house. Yep. Alcoholics don't buy alcohol for a reason. Mm. Why would you put yourself in a position where you're tempted? Yeah. It doesn't make sense. Yeah.
All right. It's about 20 minutes. I thought I would end with this. I was thinking about this. I hope y'all enjoyed that. Go watch the video. It's super powerful. See how it relates to you. Hope it helped. But I was thinking heavily about something, you know, about the book and the Fortress 90 that we did, and why I know why we really did it, but I just want to drive it home. Why so many people fail? They're waiting for that perfect opportunity. They want the perfect workout. They get a nutritionist. They want the perfect plan. They went from 0 to I'm going to eat the most healthiest and be the best there is. 0 to 100, all of these things.
It lasts for a week.
And it lasts.
Maybe.
Right. What this book is not a nutrition course. We do offer nutrition. That's a one-on-one thing because everybody's goals and calories are different. But the one thing we could agree on, if you did something in 90 days, you would change. And we all can share equally. It's putting down alcohol, no boxed or processed sugar, drinking freaking water, working out 5 times a week, and I don't give a shit what any personal trainer or any person out there says, oh, that's too much.
5 times a week.
You should be working out 2 to 3. Listen, how's that working out for you? We're made to move.
Yeah.
And they don't have to be in, we're not going sub-maximal 100% every time.
No.
Okay, that's dumb.
But you shouldn't be sitting around all the time.
5, 10, 15 minutes sometimes, just moving. You can do 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups at a time. That's moving, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'll go off on the deep end on that shit. We'll be in here for 30 minutes.
Don't get me started.
So the working out, protein,
8,000 steps.
Yeah, fruits and vegetables, and oh, by the way, steps, moving.
Yes.
These are not like life-altering, groundbreaking things that have come.
These are things that, and we're not saying you can never have a piece of cake again, or if you really love having a beer after you mow the lawn in the summer, that's never going to happen again. That's not the purpose of this. We want you to be aware of your choices and how they affect your body. And you can't do that if you don't know how you feel without it. Yeah. You know who had a lot of pushback on one of these things?
Who?
My husband. He decided in his own brain, he didn't even tell me this until the other day, said, I think I'm going to do all of that, but I'm definitely not going to do the alcohol thing. And there was one thing I said to him, and I didn't even realize that I had done it. I was just mouthing off about this, and I said, if people can't put down alcohol for 90 days, they've got a problem. Yeah. And he took that to heart, and I didn't even know it because he didn't tell me, I think I'm going to go through this, but I'm not so sure about the alcohol. This is a little bit while back. But he said that was the one statement that really resonated. If you can't put something down for 90 days, you have a problem. You're not going to change. And the other thing is I've heard, a couple people have had a look, people that there's always something in here that's going to be hard for you. Maybe it's because you have a desk job and you're sedentary. And so you're like, I don't know if there's any way I can get 8,000 steps. I don't want to hear, I can't, or I don't know how. I want you to find a way. And the other thing is that, yes, if you do most of the principles in here, but like maybe you pick 2 of them and you just don't do those 2. The program works when you do it. Yes, some positive change will happen. Invest, go all in for 90 days on things that you should already be doing. Yep. 90 days. Because you cannot have a piece of cake if you're not in control of your health. Exactly. Where we're at in life, whether you want to say it's the 80-20 rule, the 90-10 rule, 80 to 90% of the time, we're on point with everything. Yes. Here and there, we like to have some ice cream. Or we like to have, But we can put it down and not have to go back to it. Exactly, because we're in control. But for 90 days, we are all in with you. Yep, nothing. All in. Yep. And I promise we will lead from the front on this one. Yep, lead from the front. And, man, I don't know, I'm just excited. But that was important. One really important shit you can all agree on. It's simple, but tough. Simple but tough. There's always going to be a piece that is harder for you than for other people, and it's going to be different for everyone. Yep. Can't run from the math, so only you can decide if you're going to be true to the 90 days. Let's go, baby! That was so aggressive. That was so aggressive. You want to redo it? No, I think that's good. I think you're good. All right, you go turn it off. Turn that shit off. No, you do it. Talk too much. I talk too much? Okay.